Go across to Professor Taylor Fravel. You're a military historian. You've looked at China's army and everything that it's been up to over the last several decades. Can you, before we get into what the Indian and the Chinese guests are saying, give us your dispassionate take on what your studies tell us about where the Chinese genuinely believe their claim line runs still in the Galwan Valley, because now their army and their spokesperson in the Foreign Affairs Department are claiming that the entire Galwan Valley, all the way till the estuary, is theirs. Professor Fravel.
Hello, can you hear me?
I hear you well.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for having me today. So I think what at least the maps that I've seen show is that China claims most of the Galwan Valley, which is quite a long river, 40 to 60 kilometers in length, but does not, at least according to these maps, appear to claim the last 5 kilometers or so to the mouth or the estuary of the Galwan where it meets the Shok River. Now, the maps that I've seen are not official maps as far as I can tell, but they are maps that have been published in China. From China's point of view, the Galwan Valley, the most important part of the Galwan Valley is not, or historically was not, where the current standoff and clash occurred, but rather roughly 40 kilometers southeast in an area where India in July of 1962 had set up a post behind another Chinese position. And so when most Chinese think or hear or talk about the Galwan Valley in the context of the border dispute with India, they're actually talking about a different part. And so one element that is new is seeing a sort of greater attention in China paid to sort of this last 5 kilometers or so as the Galwan River flows from east to west into the Shok River.
As someone who studied China's military strategy since 1949, since the foundation of the modern-day PRC, what's your sense of what the Chinese are up to currently? Suddenly the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Chinese army in the Tibetan Western sector claim that the entire land going all the way up till the Shok River, till the estuary, is theirs. In the way that Indians see it, it's largely because we've built a new strategic road which goes up to Daulat Beg Oldi, which is why suddenly the Chinese think this area is important, and they're claiming something which even at this moment, as I showed our viewers, China's version of Google Earth, their own satellite, when they show the Chinese claim line, it ends around PP14. It doesn't go all the way up till the estuary, which is what the army is saying, Professor Fravel.
Yeah, so I think what's happening is on both sides of the LAC here, from the Shok up to PP14 and from PP14 sort of southeast along the Galwan River, neither side has had much of a permanent presence in terms of, especially in terms of roads, but much less in terms of other infrastructure. And so what seems to be changing is sort of China's conclusion that it needs to have a greater presence here, and that would appear to me to be in response to India's efforts to improve its position on its side of the line of actual control. And so this is why we've seen the Chinese come up the Galwan River Valley on the Chinese side in much greater numbers than ever before, at least that I am aware, and appear also to be extending a road on their side that may eventually terminate more or less around patrol point 14.